My name's Vicky and this is going to be a short practice to help open up the sides of the body and the waist. You shouldn't need any props today. You can have a block handy if you wish, but actually I think for this particular practice, using the shin is actually going to be a really good prop. As always, please listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it, okay? You should feel like you're opening up the body. There should never be any pain as such. Maybe a little bit of discomfort, as maybe you're stretching things you're not usually used to stretching. So let's begin. So we're going to come into a seated position. I'm going to come up onto my knees and bring them wide as if I'm going to do a child's pose, bringing the big toes together, and then I'm going to sit back. If this feels really uncomfortable on the knees at all or on the feet, you can bring the knees together or just come to seated. And we're going to start with a little bit of breathing here. So wherever you are, make sure you're nice and comfortable. And then just take your hands and bring them onto the ribs. So the thumb is going to be on the back of the ribs. Fingertips will be on the front of the ribs. Relax the shoulders here. Naturally, they'll start to rise. Relax the shoulders here. Make sure that the shoulders are stacked on top of the pelvis here. And then we're just going to close the eyes. So close the eyes here or soften the gaze. Sit nice and tall wherever you are. And we'll begin by taking some really nice big breaths in. So just start to take some nice breaths in through the nose and out through the nose, noticing how the ribs move as you breathe in and out. Often just by placing the hands on the ribs, it helps us to expand through the breath. I'm quite sure that normally when you breathe, you're not taking this 3D breath with the ribs. You're probably just breathing into the top of the chest. So use this opportunity as you breathe in and out here, controlled, to feel the front of the ribs expand, the sides of the ribs expand, and the back of the ribs expand. And make the breath as deep as is comfortable for you. If you find the shoulders start to rise up as you take that big breath in, take a smaller breath. We'll go just for a few more here, feeling the sides of the body, the front and the back of the body expand with every inhale, and draw back together on the exhale. We'll take one more breath like this. Returning back to a normal breathing pattern, but maybe noticing how it's a little bit more expansive than normal. Release the hands onto the thighs, gently blink the eyes open. Lovely. And we're going to come into an all fours position. So the hands will be stacked underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips here. And start to just notice the sides of the waist here. So keep the back of the neck long, try not to let it drop. Look forward slightly. Belly button draws in ever so gently here. And then as you're breathing here, just notice, can you take that 3D breath once again? So the front of the ribs, the sides, and the back of the ribs. And just spend a moment here, there's no need to rush in yoga. Just noticing how the breath moves through the lungs and around the ribs. And then from here, we're going to bring our right foot, like a little bicycle kickstand, off the side of the mat. So the right foot comes off the side. Left leg straightens back, drop onto the big toe side of that left foot. From here, we're going to bring the left hand all the way up overhead. And as you do, push the hips towards the long edge of the mat and push down into your left foot at the back. Take a big breath in, really stretch through the side of the body. Maybe gaze towards your hand or look slightly down. Fingertips are gripping the floor just as if you were doing a downward facing dog. Keep moving the hips towards the long edge of the mat. Take another big expansive breath into the left side of the body. And as you exhale, place the hand down. We're going to switch it the other side. So reset in the middle, take a big breath in here. Exhale, you'll bring the left foot off the side of the mat. Right leg goes back, turn the heel in. So the knee and the heel are almost in one line here. Left hand is on the floor. Reach that arm all the way up overhead as you push the hips towards the long edge of the mat. Reach that hand overhead. Your one long line of energy here from your right middle finger all the way down the side of the ribs to the pinky toe side of that right foot. Take another big breath in here. And then your exhale, come all the way back to all fours. We're going to take that same position once again. So the right foot comes off, left foot comes to the floor. This time, instead of sweeping the left arm in front of you, reach yourself up into a gate pose. Bring this leg behind you, your right leg, so that the toes and the knee are in line. Take a nice big breath in here, left foot down on the floor, and then reach over towards the side, expanding through the right side of the body here. Again, pushing the hips forwards, opening through the right this time. You can look, gaze down towards the foot or up towards the hand, whatever you fancy. Try not to dump the weight down, but think about growing long and creating space here. One more big breath in, and then come through center, cycle the hands to the top of the mat, turn yourself inwards. Same thing other side. Left foot off, right leg back, drop the heel, lift up. So now you're standing on your left knee, your right leg is out to the side here. Arms reach out wide, take a big breath in, relax the shoulders, hand towards the straight leg, reach the arm up and overhead here. Again, push the hips forwards, push into the knife edge of your right foot and expand through the chest here. Gaze down or up, breathing into all these intercostal muscles down the side of the body here. One more big breath in, return through center, and then hands come down to the floor. Tuck your toes, we'll lift up into downward facing dog here. If you wish, take a little bit of movement just to settle in here, just for a moment. But then I'd like you to try and find stillness. So you can bend the knees, don't worry about the heels if they don't come to the floor in down dog. Today I'd like you to really focus on creating length down both sides of the body equally. So push the floor away, allow the head to fall between the arms, look between the knees and lengthen through the sides of the body. And you'll notice when you start to think about lengthening through the side of the body, naturally your heels will start to fall towards the floor. Take another big inhale here. And as you exhale, drop the knees down towards the floor. Stay on the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Squeeze the bottom to move the hips forwards. Interlace your fingers. Point your index finger up for Kali Mudra and look straight up towards the sky. Fire up the quads, fire up the glutes as you push everything forwards here. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, release the hands, bring them behind you. Roll the shoulders back, keep everything active in the bum and the quads and the hamstrings pushing forwards. Reach the heart up to the sky. It's a very, very small back bend, nothing major. We don't want to start leaning back here. We want everything moving forwards and up here. One more big breath in. Exhale, come back to that neutral position. Keep the hands interlaced. Step one leg carefully forwards. And then the other, and you're at the top of your mat. Roll the shoulder blades back and down. Take that little back bend again. So a little soft bend in the knees. Reach the heart up towards the sky here. And then release. Hands come out wide. Reach them overhead. Take your Kali Mudra. So interlace the fingers, finger points up. Reach through the feet. Squeeze the ears with the arms here. Draw your lower ribs in slightly. Take a nice big breath in here. We're going to bend over towards the right. So take that side bend towards the right, hips move to the left. Inhale back to center, grow tall. Exhale, take it the other way. Come back to center here, release the hands, bend the knees as you fold forwards, hands to the floor, tuck the chin. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on the shins or slightly lower if you know it. And then exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step back into your strong plank pose. Again, think about the sides of the body here. Lengthen through the sides. Take another big breath in here. And then drop the knees for the first one. Elbows hug in, slowly lower down to the floor. Elbows slide down the ribs. Untuck the toes, roll the shoulders back, lift your chest into cobra. So your bottom should be squeezing in cobra. You'll find that should help take away any little back discomfort that you might have. Lower to the floor, tuck the toes. Push through all fours with the belly drawing in, back to downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale everything out through the mouth. Take another big inhale here. As you exhale, look forwards, step your right foot to the top of the mat. Coming into warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2, back heel down, open all the way up into your warrior two. So here's another position we can start to think about lengthening through both sides of the waist. So push down through both feet equally, okay, not just the front one. Keep bending through that front leg, making sure the knee is stacking over the ankle, and then bring your attention to your pelvis. Can you lift yourself up and out of your pelvis on both sides equally? Then turn your head, gaze over your front middle finger here. Take a nice big breath in, and as you exhale, left hand comes down to the back leg, front hand reaches up and take that back bend here. Keep moving the weight forwards as you reach that right arm all the way up and overhead here. Take a nice big breath in, exhale back to center. Straighten your front leg, maybe heel toe the back leg in a little, and bring the left toes just to face the front of the mat slightly. We're coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose, but half away. So send your hips back. Imagine you're trying to reach for something in front of you. Now hold it here. We're not going to drop to the shin on this round. Keep everything in the lower half of the body moving backwards, just the trunk moves forwards. And notice how here we're not just lengthening the top waist, we're lengthening the bottom waist too, rather than crunching down. Keep reaching forwards here as the hips move back. Exhale, bend the knee, lift up, warrior two. Hands to the hips, turn all 10 toes to the long edge of your mat. Bring the heels in for goddess. Take an inhale here, release the shoulders. Exhale, sit down into your goddess squat. Okay, so keep the knees moving back. Try and sit down a little bit lower using that breath, but keep opening through the chest and the sides of the body. Same thing we've been doing. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Take that Kali Mudra, so interlace the fingers, reach the index finger up here. Take a nice big breath in, and as you exhale, maybe sink a little bit lower if that's okay in your body. Take another inhale here. Exhale, take that bend to the right. Inhale through center. Keep the knees bent. Exhale, take it the other way. One more time each side, sorry. Inhale, exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Back to center. Straighten the legs, open up. Warrior two at the back of your mat. Okay, so now your left foot faces the back of the mat. Bend your left knee. Right foot, make sure it's parallel to the front, or what is now the back of your mat. Bend the knee, open the arms out wide so you're facing the opposite direction from last time, okay? Push down through both feet, get tall, get long through both sides of the waist. Shoulders relax as you turn your gaze. Look over your front middle finger here. Powerful legs, lifting up and out from the pelvis to get some length. Take another big breath in here. Exhale, bring your right hand down towards the straight leg. Front arm reaches up and take it back. So again, weight moves forwards and back here. Okay, you've got opposing movements of the knee moving forwards and the arms moving away from the knee. Take another big breath in. Can you turn your heart up to the sky a little more? Exhale, come through center. Lovely. Straighten the left leg. Just walk the right foot in slightly and turn the toes in. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Keep the legs straight. Lift the kneecap on the left leg. Reach forwards here. So we're not dropping down, we're just reaching forwards. Imagine you're trying to reach for something in front of you here. Keep the hips moving back and lengthen through both sides of the waist. Not just the top, but the bottom. So we're taking up as much room as we want on our mat, okay? Think big and expansive. Take another big breath in. And then exhale, bend the knee, return back to center. Hands to the hips, we've got another goddess. So turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of the mat. You'll be facing the same way. Heels come in ever so slightly. Sit down into your goddess once again. Again, inhale, get tall through the torso. Exhale, see if you can sink a little bit more. And then just notice what goes on in the face. We often start to tense all the muscles, so maybe see if you can smile a little, despite goddess maybe not being your favorite pose. Take another breath in here. And then exhale, stretch through the legs. Turn the toes now back to the top of the mat, arms out wide. Cycle the hands to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Take a nice big breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose once again. Exhale, this time you'll step your left leg to the top of the mat. Okay. We're going to open up into that warrior two once again. So drop the back heel down, open up, warrior two. So now you're going to be facing a different direction, okay? So, purely so that I can talk to you, I am going to turn around, but you stay where you are. Okay, so we're in our warrior two. Take a nice big breath in here. And this time, we are going to reach the back hand towards the straight leg. This other hand is going to reach overhead and place the left hand on the back of the head, okay? Now allow the hands to take the weight of the head, so you're really allowing the neck to relax here. So the head just drops back. You'll notice it's a little bit more of a shoulder and a side stretch here. We're not pushing down into this back leg, as you saw. I can lift my hand, turn the heart towards the sky, and allow the hand to hold the head. One more big breath in, see if you can bend the front knee a little more. And then release back, warrior two, lovely. We're going to straighten that front leg once again. Heel toe, right foot in. Toes face slightly forwards. Reach the arms forward. So again, Trikonasana, reach forwards, imagine you're grabbing something. Now allow the hand to fall wherever it wants to. Okay, this is why I said the shin is a really good prop. So don't worry, you don't need to touch the floor, okay? That's not the end game. The end game today is to lengthen, really lengthen forwards, hand to the shin, turn the heart to the sky, reach that top arm up and gaze up towards the thumb, or if you prefer, you can look down towards that front foot. Keep the chest open here if you notice yourself collapsing. The most simple thing, lift slightly, push the hips back, lengthen the chest towards the top of the mat. One more big breath in here. Exhale, bend the front leg, reach up. Warrior two briefly, hands to the hips, toes to the long edge of the mat. Bring the heels in once again, sitting down into our goddess squat. Now this time, sitting low, see if you can bring your hands towards the floor here, okay? If they're hovering, that is absolutely fine, okay? If anything, you're going to get a little bit more muscle engagement by hovering the hands. Keep the knees bent and pushing out towards the side here. And then from here, see if you can lengthen both sides of the waist. So rather than just allowing yourself to sink here, lift the chest, expand and lengthen through the chest and through the spine, lengthen both sides of the waist. Take another big breath in here. And then keeping the knees bent, bring the hands onto the hips, lift up, goddess, well done. And then straighten the legs, well. We're going to turn to the back of the mat once again. So, right toes point forwards, whoops. Left toes are in that warrior two, Virabhadrasana position. Reach the arms out wide as you bend into that back leg. Push down through both feet. Lengthen, get long. We've already done this once on this side, so the body knows what to do. One more big inhale here. And then the back hand touches the straight leg. Front arm reaches up. But then again, this hand is going to hold on to the back of the head, okay? Turn the heart to the sky. Allow the hand to hold the head. It's a little bit unnatural to begin with, so just see how light you can make the neck by allowing the hand to take the weight here. Keep spinning the heart open, keep bending through that front leg. One more big inhale. Exhale, return back to center. Well done. Again, straighten the front leg. Just walk the back foot in slightly, turn the toes forwards. Again, send the lower body to the back of the mat or the front of the mat because you're facing the other way. Reach, reach, reach. Take a moment here, there's no rush. And then bring the hand towards the shin, or if you have a block and would like to use that, please do. Keep lengthening towards the short end of your mat. Then you can open up towards that top hand, looking up to the thumb. Push the hips back and think about length through the spine rather than trying to touch the floor anywhere, okay? You get a lot more muscle engagement. We're going to take 2 more breaths here, okay? Push down into the knife edge of the back foot, push down into the front heel, lift the chest, keep turning the heart to the sky. Both arms are super strong. And on that next exhale, bend the front knee, return through center, hands to the hips. You know what to do. Turn to the long edge of your mat. And then bring the heels in slightly. Sit down. This is the last goddess squat. Sit down into your goddess squat here. Take a nice big inhale to lengthen. Exhale, see if you can sink a little bit more here. We're going to bring the hands behind the head and interlace them, okay? So your hands will look something like this. Push your elbows wide here, and then try and lose the back bend. So quite often you'll find that the bum starts to stick back and you're creating this kind of C shape through the front of the body. Tuck the tail in, push the head back into the hands. Don't let the hands push the head forwards, okay? So use the head to just gently push the hands back here. Take a big breath in, lengthen through both sides of the waist towards the sky despite the bottom moving down. Last breath, well done. And then stretch all the way up, release the hands, turn back towards the front of your mat, okay? Turn the toes in, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. And then again, notice both sides of the waist here, okay? Notice if they're equal. Doesn't matter if they're not, it's simply that you are becoming aware of how your body moves. If one side is slightly different than the other, which is quite often the case, take another big breath in here, and then drop down towards the knees. Lovely. We're going to take it into a side plank briefly, and then we'll slow it all down. So we're going to come into side plank on the right side, so your right hand step it slightly further forwards than the shoulder. Now option 1, your right foot will come off the mat in that bicycle kickstand position, and we're going to take a side plank with the leg lifted, okay? Otherwise, we're going to come into a full side plank. So right hand is down, right leg goes back, turn yourself and open yourself up into your side plank, but with the arm reaching overhead. So lift the hips up, create this side bend through the side of the body. Reach your left fingertips up and overhead. Maybe look down towards your right hand. How high can you lift the hips up? How high can you reach, or how far can you reach that left arm? One more big breath in, and then return through all fours or through plank, and we'll take it the other way. Make sure your left hand is slightly further forward than the shoulder. There's no rush, slow it down. Left foot can come down and off the mat, or turn yourself, maybe stack the feet, reach the the right arm overhead, lift the hips up, reach and expand through the side of the body, hug your left arm in towards the armpit, take another big breath in here, and then exhale, we'll all drop down towards all fours. Cross the legs over, we're going to come to lie down on the mat briefly. Stretch the legs out. And then from here in the middle of the mat, all we're going to do is walk the feet to the right slightly.
sorry, to the right. Walk the feet to the right. Cross your left leg over your right, okay, just like if you were sitting at a desk. Then shift your shoulders also to the right, okay. Now notice what happens. The left hip decides it wants to roll in. Don't let it. Keep both bum cheeks down. Here, hold on to opposite elbows. Allow the shoulders and the elbows to move towards the floor and maybe look towards the right. You can even gaze down towards your feet if you wish. Nice little banana asana, we could call this one. A nice side stretch. So keep that left hip trying to reach down towards the floor, heart faces up. Release the elbows, shuffle your way into the middle, uncross the legs. Now wiggle the feet to the left. Cross your right leg over. Wiggle the shoulders in the same direction. Make sure that right bum cheek is not lifting. You want to push it down towards the floor. And then switch the elbows. So now you're holding onto the elbows in the other direction. Okay, there's two ways to hold them. Hold them the other way. Maybe look down towards the feet if you wish, or just continue gazing up towards the sky. Try and allow the right hip to move towards the floor. Allow the shoulders to move towards the floor. Release the elbows, release the feet, shuffle your way back to centre. And then draw the knees to the chest. We're going to roll up to seated here. And then you're welcome to come into any particular seated position you wish. So you can stay seated like this, or like we did at the start, bring the knees wide. Let the big toes touch as if you're doing a child's pose. Sit back here. And then just like how we begun the class, let's bring the hands onto the ribs. Relax the shoulders and just close the eyes. And don't change anything about the breathing yet. Just notice if naturally the breath has changed. Does it feel easier? Does it feel more smooth, more calm? Does it feel more expansive? Allow the muscles around the shoulders, the face and the eyes to relax. And just pay attention to this movement of the breath through the front, the sides and the back of the body. No need to change it or make any effort here. Simply just noticing, sitting tall. Couple more breaths here. And for our final one, whenever you're ready, take a really big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Bring the hands up over the eyes. Gently blink the eyes open and bring the hands down. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it will help you for the rest of your day if you've got to get back to the office or at home, working from home. Anything else that means that you need to lengthen the sides of the body from too much sitting. So I hope to see you soon and practice with you again. Thank you.